absolutely awesome day of exploration. A bit difficult to beat this. I'm over 100 kilometers from Chachapoyas. At the high point on this side of the Andes, 3,600 meters, and I'm heading over to Cajamarca. I'm going to meet a friend who was exploring in this area since the 1980s, and our plan for the next month is to visit some places that we've never been to before and revisit some other places. Really looking forward to it. Basically no plan. Get here, get out, get exploring, and we've got a month. Fantastic. So I've made it across the Marañón Canyon and arrived at the pearly gates. I'm not dead. Anyway, I've come all the way from over there. Now back in the Chachapoyas area, and we're having a couple of days of acclimatising, getting the legs working. And today we've come out to a place called San Antonio, which belongs to the Vargas family, who live in Bamba. And this is an archaeological site, the same name, San Antonio, which covers this ridge here and another little hillock over that way, which we're aiming for now. This one's got this beautiful zigzag design on it. We've had 5 days wandering around the hills and showing off Matt, who's never been to Peru before, some of the sights around here, and getting used to the altitude and getting the legs moving again. And now we're about to head off into the hills for 3 days. It might be camping, it might be staying in a hut, I'm not exactly sure. Again, there isn't much of a plan, just that we know there's a site that we haven't visited before up here somewhere, and we've been invited to go and see it. Weather's come in a bit, climbing up this valley. Gone for a little bit of local assistance, coca leaf, which is, it's like green coffee. I use it as just a little pick-me-up, I guess. I like having a good coffee, but it doesn't taste just anything like as a good coffee. So we're just heading up here, not much further actually, and then we'll see how we take the rest of the day. Armadillos. You get armadillos up here. Come through this forested ravine. We've got some guys using the machete and making a trail for us, and come up to this tomb site. A friend that's invited us here, it's only his second time he's been here. Yeah, pretty awesome. Massive stone cliff there. There's another one above the head, and another one just round the corner there. The odd bone left around, but not many. But it's superb to come to another place here in Chachapoyas. Got a little bit of help up the hill here today with some horses. I've just had to jump off my horse. She, I'm not sure, took a strange route and she wasn't going to get up it, so I hopped off to give her a break. And now we're going to check out a feature that we've seen on Google Earth over the years, and just want to ground proof it, see what it is. It's very difficult to make out what it is on Google Earth itself. So we got to the goal just as the weather crapped out, and yeah, it's tallies up with what we saw in Google Earth, but it isn't what we kind of hoped for. It's was a corral, and there's the remains of a small rectangular structure in there, which is probably modern, and what we thought could be a tree was just some really dark earth. And let me just wipe that off. There we go, that might be better. So yeah, but that's exploration for you, winners, and sometimes it's, you know, it's not what you hope for. But on the positive side, we've now just ticked something off this list of things that we'd spotted and thought were worth checking out. So that's one less to go. So you can't complain about that. And it's been quite a super walk to these high mountains. We're still at 3,800 meters here, and yeah, it's been good fun. High mountains. Though I've got to say, when I look around here, for me it reminds me of Scotland. Getting from where we camped down there. Yesterday we were over here, and we've come up to this site here, and this is a site that I haven't been to in 25 years.
This is great.
I've just come across one of the gems of this site in Hoya. You've got this big high wall, and then right at the top, which I'll probably have to get with my phone, is a Greek spiral. You don't see many of those. Fantastic.
Yeah, this is the other side of that roundhouse.
Thanks. And that's awesome. That is one big piece of... Right on the edge of La Jolla, on the eastern side, where Keith and Matt are standing down here. They're actually on a roundhouse, which is right at the edge of a 400 metre drop. Stunning location. This site is endless. We're getting to the point where we're going to have to head home. We just walked to this sort of flat area, which plaza, and then here's another house with a design. It's like a block missing between blocks. Massive. I can't believe how big La Jolla is, and there's a whole nother section over there. It'll be another full day to spend here. Once again, we're in the Aten Valley, and we come up towards Aten, the village of Aten, and we're aiming for this little forested mountain at the back there. Been invited to come here by the owner. I've never been there before. It's Keith's second time, and he was so impressed with some of the archaeological remains on the top. He's desperate to get back.
So, because you can see into this house, and there's a big doorway. And this is one of those stairways that goes up in between two.
Like at La Congona.
Yeah, a lot like from
Yeah, right. So the house, jeez, whoa, there it is. Oh, here's the lintel, yeah. Here's the doorway. I see what you mean. And the way in. I have been to many places with roundhouses over the years I've been here. And I honestly can say, I don't think many have had the impact of coming here. The house is incredibly well made, the location is just beautiful, and added to that all this vegetation on top. I am so glad that Keith suggested to come to Chequillo, and I do hope I'll be back to explore here more. Fantastic. Haven't got much time, we've got to get down the hill. It's very misty and wet, and I think darkness will come quite quickly today. Been a super day. Now in the Bolivar area, south of Lemibamba, where we were last week, and we're heading up to what appears to be an archaeological site, which we spotted on Google Earth a couple of years ago. Neither Keith or I have been there before, and we're following what appears to be an old trail around the mountainside, which leads right up to the site. Good on the ancient people, because this is a nice gentle path. I'm still puffing and panting a bit, but over 3,800 meters. And bonus, just saw a condor flying very close to it. I've got some video. Seems to be getting close now. We've just joined this trail, which seems to be a major trail. It's could have brought the car along. So wide. We took the higher one, which might be an older trail. The places where the rock walls supporting the trail. Absolutely amazing. Sort of. Now just gonna get around this, and I think, cloud willing, we might get the first view of the site that we're aiming for. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. We've made it into the site, and it's at 4,000 meters, and there's some buildings much higher than where we are now, probably another 50, 100 meters higher, and we've just come across this building behind, which seems to be the remains of a chulpa, or a tomb, and there seems to be quite a few others in a worse state of repair than that one lower down and on a couple of other ridges. Rain's coming in again. We don't want to lose the view just yet. Only just got here. What can I say? This place is even more exciting than I possibly imagined. Check out that wall. There's just walls after walls after, more dwellings, platforms. We haven't got time to explore it all. It goes way up the mountain over there as well. I've got to come back. This is, I'm not going to pretend we're the discoverers. Certainly not. We found a plastic cup at the top there. But we don't know the name of it at the moment. So I will flash up the name of it. I'll put it in the description. Absolutely awesome, awesome day of exploration. It'd be difficult to beat this. Here we go again. Another day in the Bolivar area, and we're going to a place that Keith went to back in 1982, and for years he's talked about it with me. To absolutely so keen to show me, but he couldn't remember where it was, and just by chance talking to some locals in Bolivar, somebody had photos of it, and so they're coming with us to help us get there in the shortest route possible. This is the building that Keith was so keen to show me. It's extraordinary. We can't decide actually what's going on. It almost looks Inca at the base with this red sandstone. Seems to be a trapezoidal doorway, but the design on the the right and at the above suggest Chacha. But the Inca came after the Chacha. Lost for words. I can see why Keith was so keen to show me this. This is an extraordinary gateway with this close-fitting rock that blends into the natural cliff. They're about to go through onto the higher level. Extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. There's some damage here, so we have to be very careful about what we touch. And then this gateway curves around to get up to the higher level. For 27 years I've been going to this extraordinary site called Quail Up, which is fairly close to Chachapoyas. It has massive high walls, hundreds of roundhouses inside. And today I've been to see this site of El Lirio, and it's just as extraordinary. But not because it's so huge, it's more than anything, it's so compact. The whole site is begging for answers to what's it about, who built it, who lived there, and why. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That was on the wish list of this trip, to go to this place, and we've done it, and I will be back. We're coming down from a beautiful archaeological site which you saw today, though I didn't film it. I've got a few photos, I'll put those up now. And down they go. In some ways this feels like the end of the trip. This is the last sort of big, unusual hike. Oh god, that was deep. That we're trying to do. Keith has 4 more days, and I have to take him back to the Cajamarca airport. So yeah, it's been awesome. 1 month gone already. Awesome, really fantastic to see some new places, come back to old places that I've seen before, or Keith was showing me for my first time. Yeah, cannot complain, it's been great. And if you like the video and you'd like to see some of these places, please get in touch. I'd love to go there again, and it'd be great to show some people some of these really fantastic, amazing archaeological sites that we've been to. So I shall say goodbye and probably fall over in the mud at least a couple more times.